I would like to tell you a story of one of my childhood heroes. Now, I am sure she would not mind if I were to use her actual name. However, for the sake of this video, we will call her Jane. Jane had been a part of my childhood for as long as I could remember. She wasn't famous, neither was she a politician or even a community activist. In fact, Jane was a retired school teacher who spent her days gardening, listening to the radio, and genuinely minding her own business. Now, I grew up on a small Caribbean island, and back then, when we were on summer break, we got very creative with the things we had to do to have fun. Some of us in the neighborhood would often become idle. And you know what they say? Idle hands are the devil's workshop. So of course, we would get into minor squabbles, and our creative fun activities would sometimes land us into some trouble. One summer, Jane took it upon herself to organize a small neighborhood summer camp. And she did it in her own backyard. She would teach us about plants. She would tell us stories that she had heard from her grandma. And once a week, we'd have a cook-up on the beach. At first, it was just a few of us. But as the weeks went by and the word spread, more and more children in the area was attending Jane's backyard summer camp. By then, our parents, who were tired and wished we were back in school, started chipping in. They offered snacks, and some of them came in and helped with the teaching. And the entire summer turned into an impromptu community bonding and building exercise. And guess what? The next year, without any formal announcements, our parents started preparing for Jane's summer camp. And it became an unsaid or unspoken tradition. Jane's gentle initiative, without any official title or position, led to her becoming one of the most influential figures in our community. She led with her heart, out of genuine concern for her babies, as she would often refer to the children in my neighborhood. This quiet, unassuming, gentle lady managed to bring the neighborhood closer and turn the lives of so many of us around without ever holding a title. As you can tell from Jane's story, today I would like to talk to you about influence. Leading without a title. The phrase leading without a title denotes leading without authority, leading by influencing people as opposed to commanding them around. Let's start with leadership. What does this word mean to you? When you hear the word leader or leadership, who do you think of? It is said that leadership isn't just about leading companies or nations, but it starts at home, in the midst of our daily routines, and in our communities. John Maxwell rightly said, leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower and influence others. Leadership can be defined in many ways. And at this point, it's worth mentioning that leadership is not about titles or positions or flowcharts. It is about one life influencing another. I keep coming back to John Maxwell, as he is a leading authority in the area of leadership. And he said that leadership is defined in many ways. It is not about titles, positions, or flowcharts, but it is about one life influencing another. And with that, I would like to say hello to all those ordinary heroes out there. And just like my childhood heroine, Jane, who is able to empower and influence people and lead without titles. Have you ever stopped for a second and thought about that teacher from school or that person from your past who changed your perspective, but they weren't in a position of authority? Can you think of a colleague who doesn't manage anyone but leads by example? Influence, a word you have heard me used several times so far. It is a silent force that operates without title, without grand gestures, but it leaves an indelible mark or a permanent impression on the ones that is exerted upon. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once stated, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man, woman, boy, or girl should be, but be one." And I think what the emperor was trying to imply is that influence isn't about dominion, but it's about leading with virtue and authenticity. So how do you lead without title? How do you influence without an authority tag attached to your name? In the book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, one of the laws that was mentioned is the law of influence, suggesting that true leadership cannot be awarded, appointed, or assigned, but it comes from influence. There is also the law of solid ground, which I'm sure if you've heard previous videos or if you've seen previous videos, you've heard us talk about the law of solid ground, which states that trust is the foundation of leadership. Your actions, your words, your reliability, that's where true influence is born. You and I, in our daily routines, hold a quiet power. The power to impact someone's day in a positive way. The power to guide them, to inspire them. See, influence isn't loud, but it is profound. It is subtle, yet it is dynamic. And you know what? This journey, this story that I'm sharing, is as much mine as it is yours. As every day I learn, I adapt, and I grow, hoping to influence and also be influenced by the leaders that I come in contact with. And the road ahead, it's not about where you or I start. It's not about the titles that we hold. It's about the hearts that we touch and the lives that we change. So as I walk towards tomorrow, remember that each step we take can influence a story. It can guide a soul. So titles, they're just words. But influence, that's an echo that resounds through time. Come, join me. Let's influence, let's learn, let's lead together.